Well, everybody has been paying attention to the likes of Doge, with BONK. There's been one coin that's been flying under the radar, building in stealth for the past 4 years. And this altcoin is about to make a huge splash in the crypto market. Let me give you a hint. Within the last week, it just got listed on Coinbase and Kraken, and I got a good feeling that this one has a good chance of getting listed on Robinhood soon as well. Can you guess what this is? It's not just a meme. In fact, there's an entire ecosystem being built around it. And unlike most other altcoins, these guys actually know how to put their community first. And I got a really good feeling this might be one of the easiest bets in this bull run. So if you want to know the coin that I'm talking about and what the heck is going on with this crazy market and Bitcoin, taking a little bit of a breather, then listen up, guys, because I got an excellent show for you guys today. You do not want to miss this one. We're going to talk about the markets and this particular coin that I think is going to catch a bid very, very soon. It seems so obvious. Let's get into it. If you're new to the show, what's up? My name is Chasse. I've been in crypto for 13 years. Here to bring you guys all the alpha so that you can absolutely crush it in this bull market. All right, guys, let's take a look at the charts like usually. Bitcoin is struggling a little bit here right now at 93,600 at the time of recording. Not sure what it's going to do, but at the time of recording, we already had the Asian sessions. It bid a little bit. It was catching back up, and now sell it off a little bit again. There's a bit of fear of what's going to be happening, as the U.S. markets open up, in the next several hours over here. But for me, I think this pullback is healthy. The bigger the run up without pullbacks, the more extreme a correction will be. I don't expect this thing to go down 30% correction like some people are saying. That's just me though. I don't know, right? But as you can see from here on the Bitcoin ETF flows yesterday, Monday, you still had BlackRock coming in with a $250 million purchase, negative outflows net 435 million. Now, I don't know if it's just BlackRock is doing a better job at sales, educating their investors, and these other ones have more emotional traders, and so they see a little bit of pullback, and therefore they get scared and sell. I don't know. I also just find it really extremely interesting to see so many days of they all just seem kind of coordinated, right? Like BlackRock doesn't really have out days on Bitcoin, but the rest of them do, and they all seem to do it on the same days. I don't really understand how the coordination happens, but it does seem to happen. And on Ethereum, you had a net positive day of 2.9 million, not huge, but still net positive, right? And I did see earlier today, everything right now seems to be kind of in the red, but earlier today, you did see Ethereum layer 2s and Ethereum ecosystem kind of doing well. So maybe that's a sign of altcoin season here coming in. Raphael says, November is shaping up to be a record month for Bitcoin ETFs with nearly $7 billion net inflows so far. And just a week to go, we're well on track to surpass February's $6 billion, already did. Notably, we've only seen a single negative month since inception, April, minus $1 billion. I forgot that even happened, having a negative month. Now, Quinton says, classic whale accumulation like we've seen at $70,000 mark, right? And aggressively accumulating here because everyone knows what's going to happen, right? And so it's really, really surprising to see who is selling right now. That's selling essentially people like BlackRock and Michael Saylor buying it up. But you can see massive whale accumulation right here. Check out what the whales are doing, guys. And Fred Krueger wants to give a little bit of a breakdown about MicroStrategy. There has been some discussions going on crypto Twitter and in some of the groups that I'm in about, is Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy positive for the Bitcoin space? And generally, yes. But if things unwind there somehow, it could be a massive, massive problem for the space. All right, so Fred Krueger over here says, the reason MicroStrategy works is over-regulation. Someone like British citizens, for example, can't buy Bitcoin ETFs. They need proxies like MicroStrategy. Same is true for Singapore and South Korea. Goldman Sachs, Merrill, and Morgan Stanley are subject to bank regulation. They can't generally offer the ETFs. Most 401ks don't allow you to own the ETF. This regulatory window creates a world in which buying a dollar bill for $3 bills is the only solution. Meaning this 1 for 3 idea is the fact that MicroStrategy stock sells for about 3 times the net asset value, or the amount of assets on the book, or the amount of Bitcoins on the books, right? This creates a demand for the shares, which allows the converts to be hedged. A tax inefficient structure with key man risks and massive multiples is winning over perfectly efficient IBIT, right? And so he's saying that this is performing over BlackRock's IBIT, but in the end, it's all just a consequence of an intense anti-crypto regulation. Ironically, this is enabling true Bitcoin juggernaut and placing a permanent bid on Bitcoin. Nice work, Mrs. Warren. Whatever. I mean, it is what it is. At least we got constant bids. Radar Hits over here says, Justin Bernstein, the asset manager, says MicroStrategy treasury model is unprecedented and will attract billions in capital looking for Bitcoin exposure. They raised the price target to $600 for MicroStrategy, and some might even say going even higher. Now, what I've told you guys about before, Andre Jit covers in a video, and I'm just going to quickly cover it here because he talks about it quite well.
Biggest upside is changes to the FASB, the Financial Accounting Standards Board, which happens after December 15th, 2024. Here's how it works. Right now, if a company like MicroStrategy holds Bitcoin, it's considered an intangible asset. And the accounting method that they have to use to value it is called the cost method. Meaning, when a company buys Bitcoin,
okay, that's too much information. Anyway, the moral of the story here is FASB, this accounting rule right now makes a company not want to hold a volatile asset on their balance sheet. Why? Because people around the world judge them when earnings come in and value the stock based on things on their balance sheet. Now, the way that current accounting system works is that if you buy Bitcoin, let's say at $100 and it goes down to 50 for a day, and then you want to price it a month later, you have to price it at that $50 mark. You can't price it at the current, even if it went back to $90, you couldn't price it at 90. December 15th, everything changes with accounting, and it allows you to mark to market, essentially meaning that the day that a company is valued, the price of volatile assets like Bitcoin will be marked on the market value on the day of the assessment, right? Which gives a huge incentive for people to now want to come and follow what MicroStrategy has been doing. I mean, this has been a huge impediment for people adopting the Bitcoin balance sheet standard like Michael Saylor has done. So we have a lot of bullish catalysts coming up, guys, in December. Remember, December 10th is Microsoft board meeting to assess whether they're going to do Bitcoin or not. December 15th is the FASB accounting rules. And then we have FTX repayments coming in January. Really, really bullish. So, I mean, that's only 2-3 weeks away from now, guys, like this whole bullish chain of events, right? And Japan's hottest stock is a 25-year-old company that adopted the corporate Bitcoin standard, is up 1,361% this year, right? And this is Metaplanet. We've covered it a lot on this channel before, but you can see people are watching. So as soon as companies aren't so worried about the accounting standard and the FASB fixes that, my bet is that we're going to have parabolic company adoption of the Bitcoin standard on the balance sheet. That's my guess. We shall see. But why wouldn't they do it? MicroStrategy, one of the best performing stock in the world right now, I think. And then you have Metaplanet, best performing stock in Japan, adopting the Bitcoin standard as well. People are observing. And as you can see, it's not just them. Rumble as well uses cash reserves to buy Bitcoin. It's a private company right now, valued at $2.5 billion, with about $150 million of cash on hand right now. So they plan on using this cash to start buying Bitcoin and creating their own Bitcoin treasury reserve as well. That's Rumble. Byzantine General over here is talking about this pullback, right? And he says, Bitfinex is trading at a serious discount again compared to the rest of the market. Last time we had significant prolonged Bitfinex discount was in February and March. And then they followed by this big consolidation and then further up, right? Consolidation with a slightly downward trend. I don't think that's going to happen again for myself personally. But Joe over here says Bitcoin tracked global M2 and a 70-day lag. So basically what he's saying over here is that this is the chart where it shows Bitcoin in orange and then global M2 money supply in white. And I think this is blown up quite, this is not that dramatic, right? You may say that the M2 money supply is starting to come down a little bit. And so therefore, as Bitcoin tracks it extremely closely, it's a good chance that it might come down as well. Okay, and then Rob over here says, M2 is good, but the GLI is better. And GLI has much shorter lag time, not 70 days, but reacts much quicker. And this is the GLI is a global liquidity index. And as you can see right here, the global liquidity index isn't coming down right now. In fact, it's ticking upward right now. So to me, I wouldn't worry about the M2 money supply. Fundamentally, we're in a really great spot right now for the Bitcoin markets. And Eugene says, longs take profit, would advise and caution, Saylor bidding 5.5 billion and failing to break through $100,000 isn't great. I wouldn't go crazy right now. Like we might have a bit of consolidation around this $90,000 to $100,000 mark. For me, I don't know. I'm just not worried about it. I'm not a short-term trader, right? I'm not short-term, I'm long-term. Even the longs that I have got open up, as you can see over here, they've been open for a while, right? This Starkware is a new one. That's not doing well at all. It's down 40%, but the other ones are doing well. And I opened them up a while ago, right? I'm still holding them open. I haven't sold them yet. Maybe I should, but I'm not going to because I don't think that we're going to continue to go down much more. We might have a little bit of sideways chop consolidation for a while, but I don't know. I don't think so. So NL Nico says over here, MicroStrategy still has around $30 billion left from their 21 plan. With an average of 481 million per day, they could continue another 64 more days. The BTC price range has been steadily higher in the timeframes of each buy. So that's just, we've talked about that before, Michael Saylor's and MicroStrategy's plan to continue to aggressively buy Bitcoin, $42 billion in total over the next year or so, which they've already invested like a bunch of those billions. So Ansem over here says, make a list of coins if you're sidelined. If you get an entry, you won't have to wait for long. So basically the things that you've been looking at that you wish you would have got into that ran too hard, if there's a pullback, maybe you should make a move to buy them with a pullback. People are hesitant to buy things when they're red and thinking, oh, maybe it's not going to go. Maybe it's pulling back. Maybe it's done for. But people who make the most money are the ones who are buying when people are fearful and are fearful when people are greedy, right? And Alex Kruger says, Bitcoin runs, so it's different stages here. Bitcoin runs, the Memecoins join, then altcoins join. Then you have a first large flush between 110 and 120. For me, I think it's around, 150 or so. The mania continues after that until Xmas inauguration. More mania, but not as manic until the end of February, March. Correction and pain, more, even less manic. Basically, everyone knows that by April, mid to late April, you have tax season, and that's kind of when you have people taking profits, consolidating and figuring out their tax situations. And then we have kind of this slow summer, typically, like literally the summer season. And then by fall, things start to pick up again with a really wild winter. And as you guys can see over here, Raoul Powell says, one of the most wild things in all of crypto is that Doge has proven to be harder money than Bitcoin. It has outperformed by 550% since launch 10 years ago. And looks like it might even continue to outperform over time. What a time to be alive. Doge running super hard. So today, we're going to talk about what potentially could run similar to what Doge has done, right? And Department of Government Efficiency, guys, it's only been a couple of weeks, and Department of Government Efficiency is everywhere. Let's watch this little clip
And
here.
let's start with the name, the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. That acronym, that word, it carries more meaning than meets the eye. Here's a tweet that Elon Musk wrote in 2019.
It's their vision for the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. The agency will pursue three major kinds of reform.
You know about DOGE, right? Elon Musk's Department of Government.
I don't know if I'm going to play that because of this YMCA thing. I don't know if I'll get a noise violation or whatever. But anyway, the point is, guys, Doge, we talked about it before many, many times. This Doge over here on ETH, in my opinion, it's going to be everywhere. Vivek and Elon continue to do Dogecast, and it's going to be in the news headlines forever for the next 4 years. And they're going to make a huge deal about it. And I think it's just a great meme. Like, it's not the expensive dog. It's the 220 million FDV Doge meme, which I think is brilliant for myself. Personally, I've got a big bag of that one. So Elon himself retweets Doge designers' post in 2013. Doge is a joke. 2024, Doge is part of the government. And Elon says, in retrospect, it was inevitable. So Robinhood to list WIF, dog with hat. All right, guys, our 100x is going to be 200x pretty soon. And this Robinhood listing is pretty intense. Like it's really it seems to be the onboarding, the onboard ramp for the mainstream, big time, right? And when that happened, there was an 11% or billions and billions of dollars flew into WIF, right? And if we look at the top memes by market cap, Doge is listed on Robinhood, right? Shiba is listed on Robinhood and Coinbase, both on Coinbase. Pepe on them as well. Dog with hat now with all of them as well. And we found out too, I'll show you in a second the proof of this, but BONK also soon. The next would be FLOKI, guys, and then maybe Bread after that. But FLOKI, doesn't have as much volume, but it's been around for a long time. We're going to talk about FLOKI more in depth today and why I think FLOKI might be one that runs really hard. If we come and look at the monthly volume on the 30-day time frame, basically things like Pepe, like Dogecoin, Dog with Hat have tons of volume, Shiba Inu, for example, and BONK, right? And these are things that are all going to be listed on these platforms. And then next we have FLOKI coming up. And I think FLOKI is right here, still has tons of volume and has been around for a long time. And people have this unit bias, right? So the cost of an asset is something that's really important, right? And when you look at the cost of an asset over here, Dogecoin is 40 cents essentially. Shiba has really attractive unit bias, right? It's very cheap when people are looking at it, when people don't understand market caps or FTVs. Pepe is very cheap when people are looking at it. Dog with Hat looks very expensive, $3.20, for example, the most expensive. BONK looks very cheap, and FLOKI looks very, very cheap, for example, right? And so people like to buy a bunch of something versus just like one or a half of something, for example. It makes them feel like they got more skin in the game, more exposure. So this is what I was talking about, that we know we have a little leak on chain that Robinhood is planning on listing BONK as well, because when they did the WIF contracts, they did BONK smart contracts as well for the wallets. And so you can see now they've got BONK. And so just a matter of time before they announce that as well. And BONK has a nice little pullback. I just charted this earlier, but now we see even more pulling back pretty aggressively now, 31% from recent all-time highs just a few days ago. BONK was on a complete tear. I expect this thing to bounce hard once the markets bounce back. For me personally, I've been looking to open up a long. Not sure exactly when. Maybe if it comes back down to here, which $2.91 billion. We'll see. But I like that as an entry. And Crypto Amsterdam says, I think that eventually FLOKI, BONK, Pepe, and others will follow Doge's direction. So you can see this is Doge, right? And everyone has the same kind of downward pattern on the charts. Break through and then break up, right? And Doge has been the biggest runner so far. BONK ran like pretty crazy. And you can see, this is why I'm saying I think BONK will be a good entry here very soon, because as what you see what Doge did is it came up, bam, had a nice correction, and then next leg up. I think BONK is about to do that as well. And FLOKI is still way down here and just breaking through. But kind of the equivalent of where Pepe is here. It hasn't even seen this big run up like Pepe has, but surely it's going to follow, in my opinion, in the same kind of steps as BONK and Doge. It's just not a big, large cap yet. So FLOKI will run really hard as soon as we get to like medium to large, still pretty large, right? So now we're at only the biggest of the large cap altcoins and meme coins. And probably pretty soon, within a week or two, maybe I expect that FLOKI is going to run pretty crazy as well. So as you can see, I said it before, FLOKI is listed on Coinbase, they're listed on Binance, listed on not Robinhood yet, though, but also listed on Kraken as well, in Canada and the United States. And FLOKI, if you guys didn't know, is the original CTO, right? So everyone talks about community takeover, the devs rugging. Basically what happened with FLOKI is the original devs had rugged 2 times before, and then the community took it over, and the community just crushed it. And now there's 100,000 plus wallet holders. Community is super strong. And if you didn't know, FLOKI is named after Elon's dog. This is literally FLOKI here. He's Elon's dog. Yeah, so this is where the idea came from. Pretty good. But FLOKI is more than just a meme coin. It's an entire ecosystem right now. They're creating this game called Valhalla. TokenFi is this platform that are launching different tokens, which if you're a FLOKI holder, you can get airdrops. And we'll talk about those in just a second. But this game is coming out. FLOKI is live on Coinbase. My guess is that Robinhood is very, very soon. This is the game I was talking about. Valhalla mainnet coming in just 2 days. And as you can see here, this is the trailer for it. I mean, I don't know if people are going to, they're going to play the game or not, but there's other games as well, right? Turn-based combat. So they're making games that have FLOKI integrated into them. And they're just doing all kinds. This is actual, like the cinematic trailer for the game. And you get the idea, 1.3 million views, 4,000 likes, 1.3 thousand retweets, 1.7 thousand comments. People are paying attention, guys. FLOKI's got a huge community and it hasn't really taken off and ran like the rest of them yet. So if you're looking for what, in my opinion, is a pretty easy trade, FLOKI is likely that one, right? There's also, they have this trading bot. It's kind of like BONK bot. Now you can go use it as well. Check it out, tb.floki.com. And so if you're asking like what were we talking about earlier before the airdrop? Well, Simon's cat, I didn't even know, but Simon's cat is actually a result of FLOKI. So FLOKI and this TokenFi launched Simon's cat and they airdropped like 17%, I think, to FLOKI token holders. And I just checked out Simon's cat. It's actually hilarious, right? It's actually very, very funny. I didn't know that it was, but it's very, very funny. Like I was watching this one earlier before. He's down here. Meow. 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 Anyway, I think it's hilarious. I was watching like a couple episodes before. I didn't know what Simon's cat was before I started researching the show, but I didn't know it was this popular. And actually, this thing is trading right now $375 million FTV. I wish I had found out about it earlier, but if I would have been a FLOKI holder before, I would have gotten an airdrop for this thing. But it's a huge, huge cat, very funny, been around for like 20 years or at least 16 years. I saw that video that we were just watching is 16 years old. So at least that long, right? And this is the coin for Simon's cat. And they're doing a new one. This is the BONK guy's thesis on why cat should be a top meme coin. I mean, that's for you guys to decide. But really, I think, look, right now the FLOKI seems to be the play here. There's a new one, this monkey being dropped soon, that is going to be going to FLOKI ecosystem as well. So just holding FLOKI gets you guys airdrops to some of the hottest new meme coins that they're launching through their ecosystem. And I think that's a pretty bullish thing as well. So the monkey is basically rooted from this three wise monkeys kind of culture. And we'll see, maybe it rips again, just like Simon's cat did. And I think it's just getting started as well, guys. That's going to wrap it up today. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.